Hello YouTube, I just want to give you a warning about a bug, a virus, which is a respiratory virus. No, it's not COVID, it's just a friend of COVID. I'm in Canada and I got this bug this year actually, in winter. And I just want to warn you because these things, it's not just on me. I recommend you when you finish watching this video, just go on YouTube and search RSV virus and read the comments, and you will see how people express their experience with this bug. So it's definitely not like a regular flu or a regular cold or something like that. It's something much more insulting, I would say. Insulting, if I would use the more appropriate word, unbearable. And this is why I'm making this video, and this is why you see this sort of medication. The reason for this medication is, and this is my advice, get one in advance. Do not wait for that moment when you are going to pray to have one. This is, it does a couple of things, but the most important part, it says here, let's see if the camera will focus. Sorry, this is the French part. Okay, pain reliever. No, that should be both French and English. So it says here, let me see if I can point with something, cough suppressant. Antitussive is the French word, this kind of both French and English. This is what you will definitely need if you want to survive this virus. And again, it's not about the COVID video. And the medication itself, it's called Dextro. I'll let you read by yourself. 15 milligrams, it's fine. I think there are other medications with 10. This one being from Wally. You also have, I believe, Advil. It sells something similar. Just look for that name. It doesn't matter. These are both, it says day, night, nighttime, daytime. It doesn't really matter. Just perhaps the nighttime will get you maybe a little bit more drowny, but you can use both of them. Just be careful if you are drunk. Now, for the virus, what happens is, I'm just going to describe you. Let me just put this down. I put my camera, which I definitely like, is completely unrelated, but I think it kind of fits in the video. It's cool to watch it. Anyhow, let me just talk. I'm not filming myself because I just feel like want you to concentrate on this medication. I want to explain you my symptoms, my experience with this. And again, I warmly recommend you go read other videos, because you will, maybe if you think I'm exaggerating, you will just see what other adults did express as experience, and you perhaps are going to understand better the reason for this video. So my experience with this was the first 2 weeks of this infection. So also want to point out that I got this in January 2024. We are in 2024, now it's July. Got it in January, and I believe I got it a few times, at least one or twice after that later on. At least to me, this appears to be extremely contagious in a way that I was not by persons who I knew they were infected. My belief is that I got this all times in places such as grocery stores, and also I don't remember having people sneezing around me, and I don't remember exactly if this causes sneezes. So basically what I'm trying to say is that it may transmit either just by breathing, so I think it's called aerosol, but by fine particles, or by particles on items. Maybe at the cashier, maybe the person in front of me was infected, put her hands on the product, the cashier lady did touch the same product, then did touch my product. Who knows, maybe I got home, usually I wash my hands, but anyhow, all I want to say is that it seems to be extremely transmissible. And let's just go back to the first 2 weeks, and that's when the problem is. I felt that it did start with sort of a chest coldness, and basically this goes straight into your lungs. COVID goes into your throat. This doesn't really affect the throat. It goes right into your lungs, and it goes into your lungs, but also affects the throat, but in a completely different way than COVID, because I also got COVID. So what this does is the first 2 weeks, you will feel, or at least I did feel, like a itching in my throat. It's something like, I'm not sure how to describe this. It's something unbearable, and you have the reflex of coughing. It's a dry cough because there is no secretion. It's just like someone is scratching inside your throat. So you do have the reflex of coughing to relieve that scratch or itch or whatever you call it, which is very strong and absolutely continuous during day and night time. And when you cough, it does not relieve it. It's just, it feels like that scratch, it keeps stay there, and you try to cough again and again, and it doesn't go away, that itch or that scratch. And it's very strong itching. And that's where this medication comes into game. Is my memories, the first day I could bear it, then the night after that I could barely sleep. The next day the itch was still there, and I don't remember exactly if I did spend the second night like this, very poor sleep. Because you will wake up continuously in the sleep with that itch in your throat, you will try to cough and so on. So by the third day, I could not bear it any longer. I got this medication, and this basically, I'm not going to say saved my life, but absolutely was just like something really needed. This I took actually, you may try on yourself. One pill or one, whatever you call this, would be fine for 6 hours. Maybe you can stretch it for 8 hours. So maybe you can stretch to take 3 of these at 8-hour interval. So when you wake up in the middle of the day and just before going to sleep, and perhaps it's going to last the entire sleep more or less. So it did help me get through those 2 weeks. Otherwise, I just don't know what would I've done. So it was just something I'd never experienced. I did had quite a few other very particular issues, health issues, if you look at my channel, YouTube videos, but this one was something just over the top. And I have to say that before this, I got COVID, and yes, COVID was terrible. I also am vaccinated. But this one was something I know I could get through COVID without medication or something like this, but this one I could not. So maybe it gives you an idea. Now, this is not the whole story. So like I said, it did last for about 2 weeks. Also, you will get other things. I don't precisely remember, maybe tiredness, just consider 2 weeks off job, stay at home. You won't be moving a lot, when be laying in the bed a lot of time. So there are other bad things, but the worst is this kind of itching in the throat and trying to cough and relieve it. So after 2 weeks, it went away, except that I'm not sure if it was right away or maybe a couple of days interval. I got lung secretions, something again first from my entire life, basically first time it happened. So most likely is connected to the same virus. It's just that itch in the throat went away, and then I started having lung secretions. And let me just explain, try to explain this to you. Right now I do have them because I think I got the virus again. But what's perhaps interesting is that those secretions inside my lungs did last very long time. I think I did count about 4 months or so, maybe 5 months. So it was very long. It went away. I can tell you my daughter also got this virus, and she has asthma. She's asthmatic, and her lung secretions were yellow in color. Sorry for the gross part. while mine were white, but were really thick, just like your thumbnail tip thick. So sometimes you are going, basically what those secretions are doing, there is no throat discomfort, it's just that you want to clear your lungs. I'm not sure if I can try to, let me just try to breathe right now, maybe you can hear that sound. So sorry, it's a bit gross perhaps, but just listen to that. I don't know how to say that in English, it's like a well, I don't know, like a vibration or something like this. Just listen. That's me. That's me trying to cough out those secretions. I'm not coughing loud intentionally. It's just trying to clear this thing out. Right now, I can tell you it's mild. It's not that bad. I had moments when it was much worse than this. And basically, when you breathe, just like the first moment when I was breathing a few seconds ago, when you breathe, it kind of makes this kind of, you will feel this in the chest like a something like this, like a vibration in your breathing. So you will try to cough just like I did to basically expectorate this. And I can tell you sometimes we will cough so strongly and there's going to be so much secretion, you are going to spit that mucus. And I'm telling you, it's not like maybe a spit or something, it's really weird. It's like a big nugget of mucus. Happened to me to spit this in a bathroom in the sink, and it's weird to see that thing coming out of your throat. It's weird, but that's how the human body is apparently. Anyhow, don't get worried. I didn't get any medication. It went away, but it took many months to heal by itself. So this is the second part of the issue of this virus. Also, perhaps you could hear when I was coughing, you could hear I would cough, and then when I tried to breathe again, you will hear perhaps, and hopefully the camera did capture that, you will hear sort of a hissing. Right now I don't have it, but you could hear perhaps sort of this kind of breathing. And this is, I want to point out that there are moments when you are going to have so much secretion trying to spit them out, that they are going to move out towards your throat and they are going to block your airways. So you, for a few seconds, you will feel you cannot breathe. So don't panic at that moment, just stay relaxed. I'm just sharing you my experience. Just try to relax. Don't force your breathing. Don't try to cough stronger. Just relax and just keep coughing, but less stronger. And eventually, hopefully, it's going to clear. Again, it can cause you panic when you realize you cannot breathe because your trachea perhaps is blocked by those secretions. But just relax and just try to breathe in, out slowly and calmly. Don't panic. Anyhow, all this to say that this is in my opinion, it's not like this virus perhaps is not going to get you in hospital, but you need to address it. And I bought these pills in advance for the next season. Who knows? You need to be prepared by yourself, because you are going to, you will see what it is. You will see what I mean when I'm saying that you cannot relieve that scratching in your throat in the first 2 weeks of the virus. Also, maybe pointing out, like I said, those maybe 4 or 5 months of wet, the second part, the wet coughing, those expectorations went away by themselves, but then came back. I don't remember, a couple of weeks interval. My guess is I got the virus again. So if that is true, the second time when I got it, obviously there's going to be, I guess, some immunity at that point. I did no longer get that scratch or itching in the throat at all. but I got this secretion in my lung. This was the only, if you want, symptom maybe for a second infection. It's just a guess. I didn't went to doctors or make tests or something like this. It's just my guess. So only the wet coughing is going to be on the if there is reinfection. Only those secretions, and they seems to be much less than on the first time. So that's a good thing. So if you get reinfected, my experience is don't worry that much. It's going to be far, I mean, completely bearable and manageable. It's just the first time is not fun at all in any means. Okay, so suggest you sorry for the kind of long video. But I think hopefully I did share with you all of what I wanted to tell you and warn you and to get you prepared. Again, I'm in Canada and maybe it's North America, I'm not sure, for Europe. Also, I'm a middle-aged person. I do have other health issues, and I want to point out that this virus, I got it in January 2024, and COVID, I got it in December 2023. So basically 1 month, 1.5 months before this virus, I got COVID. And COVID went away, and maybe 1 or 2 weeks after COVID, I got this virus, RSV. Not sure if COVID did cause this virus to be worse. I'm not sure, but from what I've read from others who only had this virus in the comments of several YouTube videos, they got this virus alone, RSV, and they said you will read their comments. It's not something that you really, that it's common seen in comment sections. So you will see those comments from other persons are very telling, are very particular. I'm not giving you words, but you will understand much easier what I mean when you are going to read those comments. So check out those other videos on YouTube, not mine, and read the comments to convince yourself and get this in advance. Just my advice. Thanks for watching and thanks for your patience.